Tetragrammaton.
That's just Rubin. I guess I'm flattered, maybe. All good, we all steal, baby. Y'all ready for the next fad? Chris Edge's next. I did that yesterday. Oh, I did that years ago when I was a kid. I didn't want to do it yesterday, but I did that yesterday when I was a kid. Don't get it, it's a pity. Maybe you catch up sooner rather than later, baby. It's lonely in the future. You don't get it, it's a pity. Maybe you catch up sooner rather than later. Sorry, it's lonely in that's 20 fucking years ago. I did that word for word when I was a kid. Stick to the technical. That's great. You would not recognize art in any age. On the first day we had jumped in the water, yeah. The costume is soaking wet. I'd like to dry it. None of the pray for the grace to be merciful. Help me not lay waste, 'cause it's not their fault. I don't care. I don't care. Anybody try name a place like that? I wore that years ago. I did. I liked that years ago when I was a kid. And in 100,000 days from now, I say I did that yesterday when I was a kid.
Wow, this guitar sounds so cool.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that was I did that in Hawaii.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just thinking that song has had a long journey.
How did it start? What do you remember?
It was a song I had that I sent the band a long time ago, and then Julian liked it, and we jammed on it at I want to say 2019 at this festival in Paris. But then it took its own life in Costa Rica because it had multiple parts, and you were like, actually, that chord progression is verse and chorus. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then the melody kind of grew and the breakdown. And then I think that guitar part makes the chords feel like they're not just continuing, you know?
Yeah.
Or just even the way it starts. It's like, what's happening? But it's so catchy. It's very cool how this thing that's put together over time, little bits here and there, but it just sounds so fluid as a song.
It sounds free, like it just kind of happened.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But it's like all these little things that kind of because you could beat the shit out of a song and be like, I killed it. How did I kill it?
Yeah.
But it's the opposite. It feels like this one became free.
Yeah.
It feels like it needed help to get the shell off or something.
This is an example of what's happening now for the band. What was happening around the time of the birth of the Strokes?
I was the last member. Well, they weren't the Strokes. They weren't called the Strokes yet, but they had known each other in some form, probably a few years, because I met them when I was 18.
What year did you join?
98, September of 98. So it'll be 28 years in a few months since I've met those guys.
Congratulations.
Which is insane.
Insane.
Yeah, I moved across the street. Went to a film school. I took a year off before going to college, and I ran into Julian. We moved in together like right away.
Did you know him from before that?
I had gone to school with him when we were younger. He's kind of gone to school with everyone. He's known Nikolai since he was like 5,
I see.
and Fab and Nick since they were like early teenagers.
And when you knew Julian the first time, did you ever talk about music together or play music together or no?
No, I think I was 13 and he was 15. Felt like a big brother vibe.
With someone you want to hang out with,
Yeah.
learn stuff from the guy who's a little
Yeah.
older.
With like doing stuff that you don't really know. Like, what's that?
Yeah.
So it had that kind of energy. And when I met him again in New York, he was very advanced musically from a young age. I kind of like very smart with it. But we had a similar, like, it both felt like we wanted to play music or be in a band.
And what was going on in New York in 1998? What was the scene like?
So funny. We always make this joke because we always tried to have a scene, but no one wanted to play with us. I think we rubbed people the wrong way, but we always thought like, if we can just get a few bands, we can play one place, people will come to us. Like, why tour when we're in New York City? Like, everyone comes here. The idea was if we hung out together at places, people would start to recognize us because 5 guys hanging out in the same place. It's like, who are those
Like a
guys?
gang.
Oh yeah, always hanging out. That's kind of the idea. And there was this place called Bar 13. And I guess the vibe was like a 60s revival. Like, also Don Hills had it, where it's like people fully dressed up like the 60s and dancing. And that's kind of like where they were girls. And could we get in? We weren't 21. Whatever. You figure out a way to get in, right? When you're not of age.
Mm-hmm.
But that was kind of like the biggest scene that I could remember that wasn't a musical scene. Because once we started playing, the musical scene felt very different to us.
Do you remember the first show?
Yeah, Spiral Lounge. I remember. Julian and I went to go see, I think it's Bowfinger with Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy. I was like nervous for like 4 days. I think we had like 7 people that were friends. And we must have played everything at like 1,000 miles an hour.
Where would you guys practice?
There's a place called the Music Building. And Madonna used to practice there. It's a famous building in New York where the whole building must be like 8 to 10 rooms per floor, depending, 12 floors, all rehearsal spaces. You could rent, like 4 bands would rent one, and you'd lock out hours. And so it would be really inexpensive to rehearse per month, you know?
Did you know any of the other bands in the building?
Once again, we weren't terribly liked.
Do you know why?
We were probably, you know, kind of obnoxious or full of, I think we believed highly in ourselves.
Would you discuss what you were going to wear before you went out?
It's weird to talk about it because you would talk about things, but it's not like, if you see a movie about it, they like dramatize it. It feels like overly done. But for sure, I remember, for some reason, I have one memory of about to play Baby Jupiter because I lived with Julian, and I was like, it was something like this shirt or this one. Or like, and he would be like, these shoes, and you still kind of do it, you know, like glasses, no glasses. When you hang out that much, which you can only do at that age, you're just always up in each other's shit. So you don't even need to talk about it. You just kind of feel it or see it.
In those early days, what was the time commitment to the band?
That is interesting. I mean, the time commitment mentally felt like all the time. That's all I thought about.
Mm-hmm.
We would rehearse a lot. I met them in 98 and our first show was in 99. And then 2000, maybe a little before then, is when we started to have songs from Is This It? So it was like these year periods where we would transition and we would make little goals and we'd meet certain people. There was a band called the Mooney Suzuki that we kind of looked up to. Like, they played such a great show. They were showmen. The drummer had a brother who recorded, so we went to him and did like an EP, and we'd always try to like grow. And I what was the first song? I remember it was Arlene's Grocery. We played like Snowing. I think it was Soma. I remember one of the shows too, was Last Night and Modern Age. We played for the first time.
Before you guys wrote songs, did you play covers?
No, we never really played covers.
But in the early days, would you just jam?
Well, my first memories was I met Nikolai and Julian uptown. There was a place called Rudy's because they would have free hot dogs. You'd get a pitcher of beer and free hot dogs, and then we'd go to practice. This was my first time going there. I had like a fever. And they had 2 songs, I think. 2 songs they were playing. They were just like showing me the parts. I was not equipped yet to be in a band. It was so because I was just playing by myself. It's so different when you play with people. So everything's faster. People are waiting on you. There's stress.
And would you guys play quiet or would you play like stage volume?
I imagine we learned dynamics over time. I think at first, like anything, when it's a nervous excitement or an energy, it's like full blast. I remember hearing or saying or someone saying or it being an energy of like, until we get it better, let's not play it with all the pedals and all the sound because we'll get tired of it. And by the time we play it good, we might not like it, you know? So I remember like discovering as a band those kind of moments, which are actually like really deep, impactful things to know about creating music.
Yeah, that's real progress. Because I think there's something when you're first starting, just the sound of an electric instrument, there's a lot of excitement in that energy. It's fun to play loud.
Yeah. Well, it kind of like can hide mistakes.
Everything. Yeah.
And you got to remember too, if you're playing with drums, it's almost like you have to be loud. Like everyone, It's like at a restaurant where everyone's just talking louder and louder. Looking back at many things about us as a band, we're pretty good at discovering things you would need to survive. Like it makes sense that we survived because there was like little things, whether it's how we communicated about life issues or musical stuff, or understanding that you're only as good as you are as a band, you know?
Yeah.
And we all liked rehearsing. We would go at weird hours because we weren't great at planning. And so we'd go at times that we didn't pay for. Hence why they'd come back from shows and they're like, what are you doing here?
After the first show, what was the first special show you remember?
Yeah. Maybe like a year after we were playing, you just started to notice there was people there you didn't know. Because a big thing we would do is before we'd play, we'd run out and just try to grab people last minute too and say we were playing. But December before 2001, we were doing a residency at Mercury Lounge. You know, if you took it in for a second, you're like, wow, there's people there we don't know. And then the last one was sold out before we went on stage. That moment is as big as like doing SNL. It's just a different hill, but it's the same. Might be a higher mountain, but it's still going to the top of the mountain.
There was a time when every great thinker had a confidant, a trusted companion with whom to wrestle ideas, to think out loud, to help uncover the essence of what path to take next and how best to follow through. That role has always mattered because meaningful problems require context, patience, and the ability to hold complexity. Anthropic developed Claude for just this kind of thinking. Claude is for minds that don't stop at good enough. It's the collaborator that understands all aspects of your enterprise and advances along with you. Whether you're debugging code at midnight or strategizing your next business move, Claude sharpens your thinking to tackle the problems that matter most. Rather than offering isolated answers, Claude is built for sustained inquiry. Claude synthesizes information from multiple sources, turning scattered material into a coherent analysis presented with a clear structure. It even includes citations. Patterns appear that would otherwise remain buried. Claude operates with continuity by securely connecting to professional tools, documents, calendars, and project platforms. At its core, Claude reflects a different philosophy of artificial intelligence, one that emphasizes collaboration over automation, depth over immediacy, and thinking with rather than thinking for. For problems worth solving, get started with Claude at claude.ai/tetra. Try it today.
Did you guys have like a demo tape?
Well, before that, there was this place called Luna Lounge. Gordon, who was our first producer, he came to see another band. And this girl, Carrie Black, who was kind of like trying to help promote for us and stuff like that, was trying to tell him to come see us. And I went and visited his studio, which is where we recorded Is This It? And it just felt like there was a cool energy with him. And when we all went there, we made the EP, which wasn't an EP. It was just, we just thought we were trying to make something else to sell or do something, and it became something Rough Trade put out, and then Beggars, the label in America, and it became Modern Age, Barely Legal, and Last Night, I think.
Let's listen to a song from that.
That was like the first recording where it was like, it's like we found ourselves. I felt invincible, like there was nothing, even if you didn't like it, it was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, this is cool.
Okay, let's see. Should I just play it from the top?
Yeah.
Up on a hill is where we begin. This little story a long time ago. Stop pretending. It seems this game is simply never ending. In the sun, having fun, it's in my blood. I just can't help it. Who wants to say no? Let me go. Oh, let me. Oh, go. Leaving just in time. Stayed for a while. Rolling in the ocean. Trying to catch her eye. Work hard and say it's easy. Do it just to please me. Tomorrow it is different. So I'll pretend I'm leaving. Sun, having fun, it's in my blood. I just can't help it, don't want to hit it right now. Let me go. Let me go. Leaving just in time. Stayed in for a while. Rolling in the ocean. Trying to catch her eye. Work hard and say it's easy. Do it just to please me. Tomorrow it is different. And this is why I'm leaving.
It almost like made me cry.
You guys sound exactly the same. It's weird. It's like fully formed.
I know. What's crazy is the album version, because we redid it, it's like tries to be a little more put together, but you can hear Gordon's just trying to capture like a band exploding.
Yeah.
It's just, you feel like the push and pull we have, that's just like us trying to find your rhythm between the guitars, bass, and drums is like uniquely our personalities. It's crazy.
Right out of the box.
Well, not totally out of the box because it was songs, like song-wise, it was like much later. Like the earlier songs were, weirdly, it's like a full circle. You kind of like, were more proggy.
So the songs were more complicated before this.
Oh yeah, they were really complicated. Like 6 minutes with the big parts.
Was there a decision to change, or did it just sort of happen?
I feel like you have to, everyone's going to probably have their own version of it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my version might be skewed and I might get roasted for it, but like, yeah, whatever.
It's your experience. You know? What do you remember?
I just remember I listened to a lot of Guided by Voices. When we came in and Julian and I were hanging out talking about music, he just absorbed a bunch of that and like did amazing things with it. I remember even doing Is This It? A song itself, sound-wise, was like, and even Modern Age, the way the distortion comes in the guitar, the rhythm guitar was based off a Guided by Voices song, like an 8-track thing. But then Is This It? Kick drum was like Watching the Wheels Go Round, John Lennon, like which is a super high fidelity, right? So it was like a mixture of those things. I don't know what, I mean, I wouldn't know. You'd have to ask Julian what made him do that. But that's like, yeah, I guess in my mind, there was elements of listening to different stuff, you know, or maybe he listened to something and I wasn't around and he just like, it just felt different when everyone was there. But it was like he started writing different songs.
Where was this recorded? Do you remember?
This, yeah, it was Avenue A and 2nd Street. I remember he was in, I think he went out to Long Island and he was playing that opening guitar riff. It's so funny to have these memories of certain songs. Like, I remember Hard to Explain, like he was playing with the chord progression. And I thought it was awesome, but I didn't like fully get it. It was like in his head. And also like, cause our room was like a weight. So he's over here, like a dumbbell, you know, we had the kitchen in the middle and we each had our own room. I remember hearing him play Someday for a while. He didn't record things on a dictaphone, so he's just like, if he had an idea, he would just
keep playing them.
Yeah, he just thought if he had to record it, then it wasn't worth keeping, which is the opposite of how we are now.
Yeah. How long of a period of time was the EP recorded?
Oh, it was fast. That's all live.
If you'd played the night before, would it have been similar to what you'd have heard at the club?
That sounds like how we would sound live.
Yeah.
It actually sounds incredible. I really got it.
Sounds great.
I forget Gordon, his techniques to capture certain things.
Well
like,
recorded.
It always bummed me out. People always just lumped us into like a lo-fi thing where I just thought we sounded cool. Lo-fi, hi-fi.
Did people call the Strokes lo-fi?
Oh man, yeah. They're like, yeah, cool, but like, oh man, early on Success was like sometimes a bit of a bummer because people would just go to a bar and they would just hate you. And you're like, I don't even know you. And then you talk to them for 2 hours and they're like, you're a nice guy. And I was like, what? Fuck you.
Do you remember some of the other bands you might have been playing with at that time?
I have a poster where the Yeah were on it. And I think that was at the very end because I don't remember some of the bands from that scene I don't remember playing with.
Mm-hmm.
I used to cut out our name there. It was like my mission because sometimes they would just write Strokes and it would drive me crazy. It was like an angry exchange. Maybe it's even in the book, maybe in the bathroom, where someone was just like, yeah, they were so annoying. Like we forgot the. And I think they said that I called and was like really upset. He was like, who cares? Details matter. Details
it's like
matter.
The opposite story of the Eagles, where people called the Eagles, and they were like, it's not the Eagles, it's Eagles.
Really?
Yes.
I guess when you like have something in your heart, it's hard to. I have that with my last name when it's like when they don't say Hammond Jr. I don't feel like just Hammond.
Yeah.
It's just funny. I know I don't remember those. Who did we play with? I mean, once we kind of like that EP happened, our first tour was with like a band called Doves or The Doves. I think it was Doves, British band. Kind of never looked back.
Do you remember the first time you played in the UK?
Oh, yeah.
What was that like? Was that EP time?
Yeah. I remember when Ryan, who was our manager then, was like, it's guy Jeff Travis. We didn't know who Jeff Travis was, but he was known to people. He's like, yeah, he really loves the music, wants to put it out. Everyone was like, wants to put it out. Kind of excited, but like, who is this guy? What does that mean? And like, he wants to you guys to come over and do shows. And it was like, I was just like ready to go, and everyone was like seeing if we were being scammed, you know? The shows were like in rooms like this, like flat rooms, no stages, some kind of like upstairs pubs where 100 people were just like right in your face.
Did the people there feel like they knew who you were or no?
No, just from like, I don't know what it is. When we're all together, I felt it when I first met them. But I was like, we're all together, like something in the universe like moves and allows things to happen.
Yeah.
We just got like press. We didn't understand what press was. You know what I mean? We just got press. And I think just us, the way we hung out and just chatted and being ourselves, they just like ate it up. But it wasn't, we weren't doing anything. They even like, you know, they thought our names were fake. It was a whole thing. So I think people were just curious. And actually hearing it now, if I was a kid, I'd want to go to that. I mean, I'm in that band, but I'm listening to it now, and I'd be curious to know what they know, or just to see them.
It sounds both traditional and new at the same time.
Yeah, there's like nostalgia in there. It sounds like dangerous but sexy. Like, you know, sexy is such a wrong word. It sounds cheesy, but it just sounds like, you know, if you're gonna fight or kiss someone.
Charged.
Charged. I think that's exciting. I mean, I didn't really get it then, but whatever, 26 years later, 25 years later, it makes sense to hear that and be like, yeah, fuck yeah.
So you record that probably in a day,
Yeah,
thinking it's something you would sell at shows.
that's it. The other thing we sold, like Julian would go try to find them and like throw them away. Like,
I don't understand.
we recorded this other one and it was like we were going to sell it. It's so funny. I mean, I get it because he wanted, like, it wasn't right.
Yes.
If you listen to the songs now, the other EP that we made, but if he saw it at someone's house that we went to, he would try to take it and throw it away, so no one would have it. It's kind of
Was
beautiful.
that before
It's
this
kind of beautiful.
one?
Yeah, before this one. There was one that had a song called Rhythm Song, In Her Prime, and a version of Trying Your Luck that was called This Life.
Should we hear one of those just as a reference of what didn't work, or no?
Yeah, In Her Prime is probably the closest to where we were going. Rhythm Song was more like a Mooney Suzuki trying to like be like that 60s revival thing.
I got it.
Well, I live this life.
How much before the EP that came out was that?
So we were doing the songs when I joined. There was these few songs that we were doing. Then we did some others that added to the set. And then this one was the beginning of something different mixed with the other 2 songs that were on this EP. That was the beginning of Trying Your Luck. Maybe like in that year, slowly over time. I think every time we had a show, we tried to have a new song or something slightly different.
And in those days, was there a feeling like someday we're going to make an album, or was it more just we're writing songs and we'll get some shows?
In my mind, it was like, there was a dream of everything we're doing now.
Yeah.
It felt like it all existed. You don't know, and you don't, it might not happen, but the feeling I had was the same feeling I have now. There was an immense gratitude of like knowing these guys and feeling like I had found a home with at first a bunch of strangers and now like a family.
When the lights go down, the body gets to work. Sleep is not passive time. It's an active biological state, one in which the brain clears metabolic waste, the nervous system resets, and the body begins repair at a cellular level. During sleep, muscles recover. Hormones that regulate growth, metabolism, and stress are released. Memory is consolidated. Immune activity increases. After years of research and development, AG1 has formulated AGZ, a nighttime drink designed to support the body during this essential nightly window. Each serving provides magnesium and zinc, minerals studied for their roles in nervous system function and recovery, alongside carefully selected botanicals to help the body transition from stimulation to rest. AGZ doesn't induce sleep. It supports the physiological conditions that allow sleep and the work that happens during it to unfold naturally. No artificial sweeteners, no GMOs, gluten-free and dairy-free. AG1 powers up the day. AGZ settles down the night. Together, they reflect a simple idea. Health isn't built in one moment. It's built over a full 24-hour cycle. Learn more at drinkag1.com/tetra. Try it tonight.
Describe each of the band members.
So much changes after you know people. Like Fab and I are so close. Talk to him all the time. Not that we weren't close in the beginning,
Yeah.
but I was just like living with Julian, and he was the first person I met and had gone to school with him. And Nikolai they were older. And so like, it was kind of like the older 2, Julian and Nikolai, and then the younger 2, Nick and Fab, and I'm in the middle. Let me see, when I first got to the studio, Nick he's funny, but like aggressively cocky, and almost like I also have to play guitar with him. So there's like an intimidating factor. Like no one else has a competing instrument, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nikolai would come down to our house all the time because he worked at a video store, and we had this like shitty projector we would put against the wall. We would watch movies, the 3 of us. We'd get stoned and watch movies all the time and like talk about them. So that was like that bonding circle. And Fab actually went to school in New Paltz. So he was the only one in college. I remember when we had to talk him, he was like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm close to finishing school. And it was like, dude, you got to quit school.
Did he quit school?
Yeah, he did. He was like, this is happening. Like,
I'm glad he did.
This is happening. That second year, we all knew to give it a shot. There was unspoken, maybe when you're young, you're bold like that. I don't feel as bold like that anymore. Or at least there's like a little more nervous energy around it. Then it was just like, no, we're going to do it. Which is a strange thing because the whole time, even though we thought we were amazing, like people were like, yeah, you don't really fit in anywhere. Our first album, I was like, this is so good. And they're like, yeah, radio's not going to play it. And so that's kind of why when we get to the point where we are now and they're like, radio might not play it, it's kind of like, who cares?
Exactly.
Like we've gone this far.
Yeah.
We've done all this and the whole way has been like swimming upstream.
Yeah.
I know people look at it and they're just like, oh, it looks like it was so easy, but it was always against the grain. We didn't fit anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're still here, so.
So, Nick, you were a little intimidated of.
Sure. Fab was very happy that there was someone else with curly hair.
Uh-huh.
Or like, I think I bonded maybe the most at first with Nikolai because he had joined almost last like me.
I see.
And like
you were the new guys.
I was, yeah. And so there was a certain element of like, I just remember like when I first saw him, he stood still with an energy and a look that was striking. So it was like, he didn't need to say, you don't need to say much when you're like that. I remember walking into that room. I was actually nervous because afterwards, that was like back in the day with phones, Julian didn't call me and I was like, maybe I didn't make the band. And I called once and I woke his mom up, as you do when you used to have to call house phones.
Yeah.
But then I found out, no, he was just busy doing something else. And he thought I was in the band from before I went in. So I was like, okay. He was like, what?
That's amazing.
You know, when you find someone, it doesn't matter like the level they're at, you're like, we'll figure it out. There's a certain vibe that fits, everything else can work itself out. Because you can be amazing guitar, and if the vibe doesn't fit, you're like, this will never work out.
Nick told me a story that he remembers the first time you walking up to the first rehearsal.
Yeah.
And he thought, uh-oh, this guy looks so much cooler than any of us. It's like, he's the cool one. What are we doing?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
There was a friend of mine in high school who I was like friends with in like 5th grade, and then I re-met him at 16. And once again, like a Julian type personality, like a slightly older brother. And he looked so cool. And I just kind of like mimicked him in my own way. And then I started to feel like as I was doing that, people responded to me differently. So if I was like, if I dress with where I want to be, then maybe I will get there. Because you don't know how to get anywhere. And your ability isn't something that you can like push you in any direction. So I was just like, maybe I'll find like-minded people by looking a certain way. They'll be like, who's that over there? And it did work. I mean, I would go to shows and sometimes people would let me backstage accidentally. They would think I was in the band, or there's definitely an element to that. It's funny, I didn't feel that way about myself. Maybe in one's own head, you know, you have all your insecurities and stuff like that. And
tell me what happens between the EP and the first album. What's that period of time
short.
like? Really, right
very,
away?
very, very, very short. We made it thinking it was going to be something we sell.
Mm-hmm.
It turned into like a release. At first, like I was saying, people were confused because it was like, wow, it's not really, you know, like it's not, can you release that? Is that good enough? Like he wants to release it. England's fast. They release it. In January, we go and play some shows and things start, you know, we open up for Doves, for Guided by Voices, and things start to like go faster and faster. American record labels are looking at us. We do South by Southwest. And then it's starting to build up, and it's like we have to record the record before we do more shows. We're not going to find it. So by April, late March, April, we're already recording.
Tell me about the experience of recording the first album. Where did you do it?
Same place.
Same place.
The Avenue A, Transporter Around Avenue. It's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, someone sent me a graffiti we did in the elevator that goes down. It's underneath the deli of Avenue A and 2nd Street.
Cool.
That corner, and across the street was the bar we would hang out called 2A. We'd go listen to like our songs in there after playing them. It was basically like our live set, sometimes cheated in certain ways, but it was our set list that we did live.
And how quickly did that record get recorded?
It was pretty fast. I remember like Gordon almost having a nervous breakdown, Julian being there late, tweaking levels with, I mean, it's like, it's funny when people say, are you guys different? When we're kind of the same, it's just older. I don't remember if it was the end or the beginning, but my 21st birthday, April 9th, 2001, and they got all the parents together, and we all went to dinner together. And it was like, I didn't realize how special it was till looking back. Like, everyone's family was there.
So cool.
Yeah, it was so cool. And we were in the middle of recording our first album. So like the dream of what we would have told our parents was like kind of taking shape. And so everyone was just kind of couldn't believe it and excited and proud, probably nervous too, because it was just like...
Let's listen to something from the first album. You can pick what song you think would be good representative of this time.
Hard to explain. I was just thinking, hearing that, I feel like part of us being a band is actually, even as like life gets hard and has its own things, is it feels like we still have our best songs yet to write. If anything, we're like unlocking new things we couldn't do. They weren't our strengths in our youth. We had a different strength, which was cool. It has a certain energy or vibe that we were going somewhere. And now, like, when I hear the last two records we did, the ones with you, we sound so much like us, but so not like that, but it still to me sounds like us, almost like even before we made this. So it's like a weird full circle, and I can see everyone's like energy and creativity, and it really just it doesn't feel done.
Just the opposite.
Yeah, I know, and that's why and I'm curious to see as we age where we can go with that, because there's an element of aging where like takes away some of that energy that's in the first one, but that I'm just curious how we'll replace that with what kind of music and what will that mean for our shows, and the possibility is really exciting.
Yeah. What was the reaction to this first album?
I mean, I remember when it was done, I couldn't have felt more successful. Like no one had heard it yet, but it was everything I could have possibly wanted to be part of when I'd fallen in love with music. When I fell in love with music, it was like I looked up to these people that were part of a fabric that I wanted to be part of. Now it felt like I was in a really cool way. Like I could go up to someone and be like, look,
Yeah.
I am
this.
part of this.
I'm part of this.
You know, but going back to how was it perceived? I think it was, well, we got a lot of press, which was cool. And then we got a lot of hatred because
you got a lot of press.
Like, who do you think you are? And I was like, I don't really think I'm anyone.
Yeah.
I didn't write this stuff.
Yeah.
They made it sound like I was writing the articles myself, you know?
Right. So the press was on the good side?
Yeah, the press
Did
was
to be
good, but I'm just saying they were so excited. I think it was a combination of the music's really cool and a combination of we were young, we're all good looking, we look cool. It's just like...
It looked like a group.
Right. You just like, once again, early on, people really just wanted to hang out and get fucked up with us, which was fun, but it was kind of funny. It was like that element of it excited them so much that they would write stuff that was just it felt over the top.
So much of today's life happens on the web. Squarespace is your home base for building your dream presence in an online world. Designing a website is easy using one of Squarespace's best-in-class templates. With the built-in style kit, you can change fonts, imagery, margins, and menus, so your design will be perfectly tailored to your needs. Discover unbreakable creativity with Fluid Engine, a highly intuitive drag-and-drop editor. No coding or technical experience is required. Understand your site's performance with in-depth website analytics tools. Squarespace has everything you need to succeed online. Create a blog, monetize a newsletter, make a marketing portfolio, launch an online store. The Squarespace app helps you run your business from anywhere. Track inventory and connect with customers while you're on the go. Whether you're just starting out or already managing a successful brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create and customize a beautiful website. Visit squarespace.com/Tetra and get started today.
So first album comes out. Do you remember touring for the first album?
Oh yeah, great touring.
Tell me about that.
All summer. The record came out in Australia first. Already cool and interesting. Also crazy because Fab broke his hand then and couldn't come to Australia.
What'd you do?
We got a friend of our manager who then became Fab's drum tech, Matt, came and played for like 6 weeks. And it was stressful.
Yeah.
It's really stressful and sad. And I imagine for Fab,
him.
it's been hard too.
Yeah. How'd he break his hand?
It was so silly. We were touring with Moldy Peaches and Adam Green dressed up as Peter Pan. British people are just, and bars are intense. I wasn't there, but someone said something. He jokes about it now because he was like, maybe they were just like saying that he was dressed like Peter Pan, which he was. So I think someone was like, why are you dressed as Peter Pan? And Fab was like, don't talk to him like that. And he went to hit him and he punched a wall and broke his hand. It was funny. We have video. We made this movie called In Transit, and with this video where he broke this bone here by the pinky, and he's looking at it, he's like, yeah, I don't think it's that bad, thinking it might heal, and it's like a ball.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where did you tour first when the album came out?
I guess Australia. I mean, it was incredible. It was also terrifying because all they spoke about were all the bugs that could like bite you. But what they didn't tell us is that a hotel on the 40th floor doesn't have redback spiders in the toilet. But I couldn't go to the bathroom there for like 2 weeks because I just kept scared that a bug was going to bite my balls. Checking my bed every night. And it's like, it's so different touring there when you first go because they put you in these like mini apartments. Julian and I would share a room. It felt like being at home, really. It was like the same thing. And then we did America. Our album came out in America on 9/11.
Really?
Yeah, on vinyl. There's actually, I have the Village Voice that has, from the week later, it has the front covers of the two buildings exploded on fire. And then the music cover inside is a picture of our faces smiling. And I framed them side by side because it was like you couldn't have.
That's wild.
Yeah. And so that first part of that tour, it was strange. It was just a strange time to exist in. But playing music was always a safe place for us. You know, even that, I think we went and rehearsed that night.
You in New York when 9/11 happened?
Yeah. Yeah. I saw it fall from the roof of my building. Yeah. It was crazy. Walking the streets was also scary. You heard like a bell or any kind of alarm, you know, everyone would slowly start running.
And it's the day the album came out.
Yeah, the album came out on vinyl. It came out on 9/11. Yeah, and then on CD, it was I think the 25th of September. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
It might have been like a bad omen.
But we had that even with the new abnormal. COVID happened.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we always make jokes, like, be careful what we name the record or put something out. Like, everything is fine.
Yeah. So 9/11 happens, you guys are in New York, and then you tour the US?
Yeah, we did SNL like January of 22.
For
with
the
Jack
first
Black.
album.
Yeah.
Most bands doesn't happen on the first album.
Yeah. SNL's been like a very cool home for us. I grew up watching that, so I love playing it. It's maybe one of the most intense things to play for such like when you get off, it really feels like you did drugs. Like,
because it's live and everybody watches.
yeah, and it's so intense and it's 3 minutes. So like a show, that intensity dies down by the end. So it's different. This is like you're on, all of a sudden you're off. And so like you're high. You're high as a kite. Like if they had a camera in there, the bands would just be pacing in a circle. And then when you get off, you're just like, can't stop talking.
Writing the second album, how was that different than writing the first album?
It's funny. I feel bad that I wasn't aware, or at least in my mind, I don't remember being as aware, or I didn't want to think about it. I know that Julian felt pressure. At least I think he did.
It's common. That second album thing is.
Yeah, I didn't know how to sit in that space. You know what's funny with that though? Looking at it from a different angle is how upset people got about certain parts of the second record, and then how over time people are upset that we don't sound like the second record. So it becomes like you see the cycles.
Makes you think you shouldn't listen to them.
Yeah. Yeah, the second one was so fun to make. Again, it was fast, and like the one thing I remember is the label making you feel like if we don't put this out soon, like people are going to forget about you. And that's probably not true.
How much time was there between the first and second album?
We were on the road for like 2 years. I think it came out in 2001, September. I think the second one came out in 2003. There wasn't a lot of time. I mean, in Julian's lyrics of that, it's just like, you know, basically no one's giving me time.
What would be a good representative song for the second album?
Probably Reptilia was probably like, it's funny because that's such a big song at festivals, and it, like you would think it was like a song that would have done well on radio, and I don't think any of these songs were really on radio.
Yeah. Let's hear Reptilia.
funny. Time gives you that perspective of like, people would always talk about either our sound or Julian's vocals and kind of like in saying something negative about it, blow off the songwriting or like the bigger picture, right? It was just like, well, you're cool, but you're lo-fi, or like, yeah, it's great, but his vocals are distorted. Just like now, like, yeah, cool new song, but it's got a vocoder on it. And it's like, and then as time goes, it gets a bigger life than it did.
What do you remember about when this came out?
There was just a lot of darkness. A lot of like...
Within the band or
No.
outside of the band? Towards
No.
the band?
Yeah. No, we were super excited about it, and like it was really kind of the beginning of success. It was more just like feeling I think when you're younger, you don't, you take all the praise and you're like, oh, cool, great. And then when the praise goes away, you're like, oh, no. However much you take it in, it's going to affect you the other way. So it's kind of like you have to be okay with it yourself, and everything else doesn't really matter. But that was the beginning of, in the public space, doing interviews and having to answer questions of like, whatever they might ask you. How does it feel to not be as good? Or like showing some like negative points. You're like, huh, he didn't know how to like answer some of that. And we were doing as many, you'd go to Europe and you'd have 2 press days and it'd be like 9 to 5 or 10 to 6, like press all day. They wouldn't fit in lunch. And then you're dealing with that kind of energy. It's dark.
How were the shows starting for the second album?
We always like connected to the fans. The shows were always growing. So it'd be like Bowery ballroom sized places, and Is This It going into smaller theaters, and then smaller theaters into like bigger theaters, like in New York. I think it's got some big songs of ours in there, like still big songs live in a festival setting too, which is funny. It's like a record that press-wise had the opposite. It was the constant like, oh, so you made the same thing twice. And I was like, don't really think we made the same. It doesn't feel like the same thing twice, but maybe in the small window of time it did. But in the bigger span of stuff, it doesn't feel that way, to me at least.
You toured all over the U.S.?
Toured everywhere. I think we went straight from finishing that record straight to Japan.
How different was playing in Japan than everywhere else?
Very different. They'll really watch you and then cheer and then be silent, waiting to see what you're going to say or do. And so that was just very strange the first time we had that. It was like, why did everyone get so quiet? Like you almost like want the chitter chatter. So you're not.
You're used to it.
Yeah. You don't, it doesn't feel like the spotlight has come back on you, too soon. Like,
yeah.
Also one changes, we just did warm-up shows for Coachella, and the Warfield, it's like 3,000. It was like felt too small. And like the bigger room felt more comfortable to me. And I think as a kid, the bigger room was just like nauseatingly too big. I remember on Room Fire, we did Bill Graham, and it was like, I think it's 8,500. I was like, this is too big.
You felt like you couldn't fill it with your sound.
Yeah, or like just like I always compare it to like leaning on the audience or the audience leaning on you.
Yeah.
And like there's a balance where you want to like give in sometimes and they'll push forward and you push back. But it feels weird when you're standing there and you're just like, oh, they're gonna crush me. Which kind of makes sense. Like, why would you just in evolution standing in front of a bunch of people is probably a negative thing.
Yeah, it feels unnatural.
Like, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
That's not what's going to happen on stage, but it's definitely like, it must be some element of it.
Yeah, just genetically you feel.
Yeah. Don't get out.
Yeah.
Like I feel the waves of nerves and I try to like not have them like grab me or change me. I understand, like, I don't know what it's Tai Chi, like the thing that you move and you like let things go by you. And so like, I'm really nervous. I see it and I try to just like let it go past and stay loose. A lot of what I use in life or like what I have to do comes up in an intense form before going on stage.
Yeah. Once you're on stage, do you forget everything and be in the moment?
It's not natural. Like The second Coachella, I understood the audience more and like how it was going to be. And I like chose to remember the guys I'm with on stage, because sometimes it's so big and you're taking in so much, it's hard to slow it down. So my practice is always like slowing it down, being in the moment, not thinking what the next song is. And then once I finish a song, not worrying about what I did wrong in the other one, like it's done. I can get better without whipping myself. You know, I don't need to like punish myself for 3 songs because I made a mistake.
Are you trying to connect with the audience, or are you trying to connect with the other band members when you're on stage?
It's hard at that distance to know if you're going to connect with an audience. You can feel it more at your show. I feel like if you get into the songs and you play for yourselves, that will channel to people very strongly. And whatever they give back doesn't matter. And sometimes it's awesome and they give back and you feel it and you're like, oh my God, I'm like, okay, that's too much. So then, and then you get so riled up, you can like,
Could be too much.
you could have a broken leg and just dance on it, you know, like, because the energy that's coming back.
Adrenaline takes over.
But also, like, you got to be careful. It's like,
Can
if
speed
you're
up.
in a bad mood, it'll turn into like get into a fight. You've seen people fight on stage. That's like the adrenaline went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Pushed the wrong thing.
After show each night, do you feel like either that was a good show or a bad show, or you don't think about that?
I do, for sure.
What's the feeling like after a show? What do you think about?
It's funny because the show is just what's in between your ears, right? Because you have your own monitors. So it's like, it could have been the best show of the audience and you didn't feel it.
Do you hear the audience at all, or no, when they cheer?
I'm pretty
or not?
sealed from it. I remember taking off my ears once and being like, oh my God, they're so loud. They were singing along, but in my world, it was like just plugging your ears.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a bummer, but it also, it makes some more precise touring, not have monitors like that. The consistency of
The
your sound
tightness
is
of
better.
the band also.
Sure, yeah. And every venue you go to is almost the same.
Yeah.
Because of how well you can dial it in. No, I think about it for sure. I'm pushing myself to like, I take lessons and I'm just trying to get better than who I was. So I push myself with different things, or certain songs are harder and I didn't get to play it, or even if I can play it, but I didn't get to perform it like I want to. I want to I want to entertain and perform the song in a way that's like, it's more magical than just, I know the parts.
Yeah.
Then I just try to hold that for something else I feel like it's important to have stuff that you still have to work on. Like, it's like, if that just ended, you might just die. You know, might just be like, well, I finished here.
In a world of artificial highs and harsh stimulants, there is something different, something clean, something precise. Athletic nicotine. Not the primitive products found behind convenience store counters. Not the aggressive buzz that leaves you jittery, but a careful calibration of clean energy and focused clarity. Athletic nicotine. The lowest dose tobacco-free nicotine available, made entirely in the USA. No artificial sweetener, just pure, purposeful elevation. Athletic nicotine is a performance nootropic. Athletic nicotine is a tool for shifting mindsets. Athletic nicotine is a partner in pursuit of excellence. Slow release, low dose, gradual lift, sustained energy, soft landing, inspired results. Athletic nicotine, more focus, less static. Athletic nicotine, more clarity, less noise. Athletic nicotine, more accuracy, less anxiety. Athletic nicotine, from top athletes pushing their limits to artists pursuing their vision. Athletic nicotine offers the lift you've been looking for. Learn more at athleticnicotine.com/tetra and experience next level performance with Athletic Nicotine.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
In the studio, do you ever think about, I don't want to play this part because it's too hard and I won't be able to play it live, or do you never think about that?
I try not to not play it because it's too hard, unless there's like something where it's like, there's like a balance in that. I think everything I play in the studio, I've pushed myself where like, I don't really want to play that live because it's like slightly above my ability. Like even on this new album, I did some stuff that was like pushing myself, Well, which reminded me when I was listening to this, I had a guitar teacher then named J.P. Bowersock who also taught Julian and like was a big part of those first 2 records and like being a guru to us and even to him as a songwriter and giving like when you have a guitar teacher who's like really good, they can kind of like show you options you might not be thinking of. Different directions of genres that don't normally cross.
When you're listening on stage and playing, what are you keying into to play to? Is it drums? Is it Nick's guitar? Is it the vocals?
God, I mean, a little bit of everything. I would say drums for the foundation, the backbeat. I would say Nikolai and Nick to see how I'm fitting in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe those 2 the least, because I trust that they're moving in their direction that I know.
Yeah.
And then Julian, that's kind of like sometimes the emotional driver. But though Fab can be too, when he certain songs when he digs
Fires
into it
up,
and I feel it, I'm just like, oh, okay, we're going there, let's go. And I know that he's said the same thing about me. Like I will come up to the drums and I'm not even thinking about it and he'll like feel it. I don't even know if that's musical or if it's just like pacing on stage and also like just being in sync. So it's like you might feel an intensity and then someone isn't and you just go for it. And maybe they come along, maybe they don't. But then when you don't know, if you pay attention, it kind of guides you and it gives you something good for the mind not to wander about stuff that doesn't matter in that moment.
If you're playing the same song in rehearsal or in the studio or on stage, how is it different?
For instance, I just had them. So like there's an emotion that changes who you are. And that's what I mean by like you try to like let nerves go through so you can be yourself the whole time. Because it's very easy to like lose yourself in your mind overthinking. So practice, you can get there, not have played the songs. You don't care if you're going to make a mistake. You're not thinking, no one's watching you. You're just casually doing stuff. And you somehow nail it. Or maybe the mistakes you have, you don't really think about it. Sometimes you do because they're your friends and you're like, oh, is that embarrassing that I just fucked that up?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't linger so much. In the studio, same thing. It depends like if you're in the room or not, it adds to it in a good way. I feel like it's just like, or if you're like having recorded the song and it's the 10th time and your mistake is the reason why it's not moving forward. You can feel people's energy in the band, or if it's someone else, like you root for everyone because when it's someone else who's having a hard time, you feel the weight. And then stage is like the crowd dynamic. It really only matters if you feel like close as a band.
Mm-hmm.
The energy is like, fuck you to the crowd and it feels good. But if you feel like you're being torn apart as a band, it almost like makes you sad. It's being in a band's like your whole life.
Yeah.
It's your identity. And so like, it almost feels like you're crumbling, like you're dying.
What happened between the second album and the third album?
There was this success of having our management got an office, and our management was kind of like us because he was only managing us. So we had like a headquarters, and then in the music building, we got like the mezzanine floor. So we had we had the rehearsal space / we'll record in here.
Everybody's living in New York still?
Everyone's living in New York still. And so there was like this element, it kind of fell apart in the different producers and what we were doing. But there was this element of like, we could have more time and that the home base and where we recorded is where we rehearsed, which made for some awesome music stuff. But it was also, from my side, it was a heavy time. Just a lot of excess and like...
just you or everybody?
I don't know. Maybe everyone, maybe mine was just more. I had the who am I in the band, what am I doing? Almost like I had lived too long or gotten away with too much with like a natural thing and not like a practice thing. So I felt behind.
Mm-hmm.
A band is like, it's a loving place, but it's also like everyone sees your strengths and weaknesses and you can't really hide from them. And so it's tough. And you can almost kind of permanently stay in certain age groups around each other because it's like that family dynamic, right?
Yeah. Did you feel like the people around you were getting better and you weren't? Is that what you're describing?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. And my choosing to kind of like party over focusing on getting better. Going back, I would handle that whole time differently. I guess that's the one where I'd be like, oh, I would do it really differently. Like,
and then the rehearsing and recording was the first process where you had more time?
I think so. That's what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And it started off with like, I think Julian's idea, if I remember correctly, was like have Gordon, we would do things slowly and we'd build a home base, kind of like a garden that we could tend to and make songs and grow from a foundation. Like having your own studio is just different, right? You start to know the room.
It's cool.
And spaces always take, no matter, it's not money. You could have all the money in the world, set it up, and it has got nothing. It just needs time. There's like black magic in recording spaces.
So what would be a representative song?
Division of Division.
Don't know how to act.
What do you remember about recording that album?
I guess I picked that song because there's like it's perfect description of trying to grow in different directions where it's like hard and you can feel the tension of something not being natural, but a song wanting to go.
Like trying to challenge yourselves.
Yeah. I feel like Julian wanting to go in different directions and then kind of trying to find yourself in spaces that's outside of your comfort zone or like, and I feel like there's something in that song that you can feel that tension. It's exciting. It's exciting to look back on. And funny enough, I was thinking on this whole thing, touring this album was amazing. Even though we ended up taking a big break afterwards, it was like we got to a point where we were going and doing a set of like 23 songs. And even if it wasn't the best show, it was a great show. We were on fire. Looking back, I wish I knew how young and awesome we actually were.
Yeah. And venues were similar size to what you
They
played?
grew at the end. They were going to start. No, this is where it really changed. Had we continued, we probably would have been in arenas at the second half of touring this album or the starting of the next one had we not given it so much time. But it was like, no, it would have been 5,000-10,000 people, different places. We were playing cities we'd never been to. And like,
would you say that the live show had a life of its own outside of the records?
Yeah.
The band kept getting bigger regardless of how an album was perceived.
Totally. Which is funny that now our manages Fish, Dave Matthews, Chris Stapleton, and us. Yeah. As a live band, we keep growing.
And then why the decision for the break?
Well, it was never like a talk about it. I think some of us might have thought we were doing other shows. I feel like it's my fault, but I didn't mean it that way. I put out a solo record. I never thought I'd play shows. I didn't want to. And I somehow ended up playing shows. I don't know how everyone views it. There's a whole journey I took that I wish I was able to express to myself and then within the band and not alone, but such is life.
What's the nature of a band?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more, I think I would sit with that and like be more angry at myself. And now I'm just like, well, yeah, you never know. Like maybe you wouldn't be here, you'd be doing something else or needed it or like.
Yeah. And sometimes doing a solo project makes you coming back to the band that much more interesting in the band.
Sure.
You grow as an artist.
There was some growth in that. I almost did need to like experience completing certain things to know how to bring other stuff to the band.
Did you feel that there was negativity from the band for you doing the solo thing?
I don't know. I can't tell if it's just me or if it feels like instead of using my time to like get better to bring more to the band, I did solo stuff.
That doesn't sound bad.
Well, look, we finished that in 2007. And that was also like a whole drug thing for me. So, but then there was a big pause because I went to rehab.
You were the only one? Everybody else was good?
Everyone stopped in their own way. I was the only one. I was just like destructive with it. Or like, this band never functioned well on any substances. If people think we're fucked up or hear songs and like Modern Age was like, oh, you guys are doing heroin. It's like, no way. We were like thinking and like practicing a lot and like, sometimes you might have a drink towards the end, but it was mostly all the recordings are all pretty sober. Mm-hmm. Even at times where you did a lot of stuff, we're not a band that functions well fucked up.
During that time, do you feel like the band grew more close together?
I think there was elements that grew together closer and elements that grew further apart. Probably like different relationships got a chance to grow. I think in a band, sometimes it takes a while to like actually talk about stuff and process it. Or also as you get older, you realize, sometimes these things just need time. You can't just because you want to talk about it doesn't mean it's going to like heal a moment, Yeah. And someone told me a while back that sometimes some of the healing actually happens while you're creating and playing music. It's like a silent healing. Like you're lucky you get to speak to each other without talking, but in a very deep way. And I was like, wow, that's kind of beautiful. And so I think that some of the healing took place in those next two records, which I think people could hear And I think in some of the press, it's just like, whoa, what are they doing? Or they're not as good because everyone's bringing in more stuff. But some of the things in that were really cool too. And so it allowed us to become what we were with you for the last 2 records. And weirdly enough, it's so interesting to see how some people find us who are younger. Like I'll meet someone, they'll be like, oh, I saw your shirt in Transformers, the movie, and I was like 9 or 10, and they didn't think to look up the band, but it's just subconsciously there, right? You just, the guy has the shirt the whole time, and then you're 14, and someone plays something, and it's like, that's the record you heard, or that's the first song you heard? Like you didn't hear like something on Is This It? And it's like the 5th album was like a song they heard. That's how they got into it.
Yeah.
And so they have a love for it that's like, you don't even understand because it's your 5th one.
There's a long tradition of reading sacred text slowly, allowing each word to settle, echo, and reveal meaning over time. Rather than rushing to conclusions, this practice invites reflection, listening, and attention. For centuries, this repetition has been used to stay close to wisdom, not by studying words as information, but by receiving them as something lived and experienced over and over again. This tradition is known as Lectio Divina. Emerging in early monastic life, it engages scripture through 4 gentle movements: reading, reflection, repetition, and rest. A short passage is read. A single phrase is held. Silence becomes part of the practice, creating space for insight to surface naturally. Lectio 365 brings that ancient rhythm into the present moment. Designed for modern life, it offers brief, guided scriptural reflections throughout the day. To begin with intention, pause at midday, and wind down at night. The readings are less about information gathering and more for returning to wisdom again and again, letting familiar words meet new moments. A modern way to keep biblical wisdom close, quietly present, steady, and alive within everyday life. Lectio 365 is a free resource. Find inspiration there, now and always. Learn more at lectio365.com.
What's the first time someone moved out of Manhattan?
Nick moved to LA.
Before the 4th album?
Yeah.
And how did that change things?
I remember thinking I thought it was going to change things more. Like now it feels totally fine. Like it doesn't matter where we live because we're just going to meet up somewhere. Transitions are a weird thing in life, right? It's kind of like, how are you going to do it? Like we all lived in New York. We could just call each other and go. And there's an element to that I miss sometimes, but it's almost like made the band feel even bigger that we live in different parts and come together.
It also probably creates more focus when you are together.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like it's on.
Yeah, it becomes like camp then when you're together.
So tell me about what was different about album 4.
Well, it was like 2 parts, right? We kind of like, we did a whole version of the album with Gus, who does our front of house. Felt more like Stonesy. It was really cool. It was just like all in the room in a rehearsal space like this. So it's really live and dirty. And I think we were afraid to put it out. Afterwards, it was like, I wish it was like that. I think we were trying to polish something too much. It's exciting to produce and like think about sounds and get weird sounds, but I still wants to, that first song you played wants to go back to like that, but not with those songs, just a rawness, but with different songs, right?
Yeah.
So that felt like we had that version and then we created this version. This one, we did this album, I guess 3 times because we went with a producer that we ended up not really getting along with. and we recorded at Avatar, and it felt like spent a lot of money. Was like there from like 11 to like 9. It really felt like work.
Yeah.
Felt like, man, it'd been more fun just for, spend all the money like going to the south of France and recording on an 8-track. Like,
Was it the first time that it felt like work?
Yeah.
Fourth album.
Yeah. Julian was on tour. We were doing it, the four of us. We had already had the songs, but we were recording as a band without him. And I think if he was there, he did 10 minutes of vocals. And the guy said one thing, and he was just like, I think he just left and then just did vocals with Gus. And then we recorded at my studio afterwards.
Is that the first time you recorded without Julian being there?
Yeah. We had all the demos, so it wasn't we didn't know the songs, but it was the first time
we played them together in rehearsal.
Yeah, but it was the first time his voice wasn't in there when someone was challenging us in a room. We'd send him stuff and stuff like that, but it feels different.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like a big part when we first did with you of all being in the room, right?
Yeah. Pick which song.
Wow. I feel like I'm going to have to go for Gratisfaction because it's the first time we have background vocals in the chorus, so that's kind of cool. Funny to have his lyrics throughout my whole life. He's like my friend, but just like such good lyrics that like I have memories and thoughts about stuff he said that we've never spoken about, that they live in the same way a fan might hear it and create their own meaning from, It's kind of amazing.
How was this one received?
The same feeling as like the second record, where it was like, because they made it as like, oh, it's their big comeback, and it's just too much weight on an album. So as your big comeback for a band that had that excitement at 21 years old, it's just going to feel flat because it's all over the place. I think there's great songs on it. There's really cool ideas and production. There's a song called Games in there that's like production-wise really cool, and a lot of things that we have thought of for a long time that just never came to. But as a whole, it's just all over the place.
And then do you go out and tour right away?
From the third album until now, this tour, we have not toured like the third album since that one. So 20 years ago, we did a tour like we're doing now. And then this album here, we did like 6 months.
And what was the vibe of the festivals around then?
It was good. It was the first time we were like, not lower off the bill, but put in a different spot. It felt different. Because I think they had pushed us to grow and grow and grow. And then like we missed to grow up here. And so we grew sideways.
I see.
And went to like headline a different stage. In the movie, that would be like is it over? Where are they now?
And then what happened leading to the next album? Next album is Come Down Machine.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty positive tours, great memories. And South America was growing there. So it was like the certain areas of the world actually in this time were maybe the biggest they'd been, which is interesting how that happens. I think just in some other spots, mainly America and the UK, they just kind of like felt like they took a dip in some ways, but it felt positive. I remember going into the fifth one, it was going to be our last one on RCA. So, and that wasn't like a negative thing. It was just like, you signed something. A cycle. Yeah, it's just like, oh wow, the thing we signed that I never thought of again after we signed it is now coming to an end. Like a lot of people think the album cover is like a negative thing because we put RCA up there, but it wasn't negative at all. The photos being like our first album, but like blacked out. Just, I think it was more like we couldn't get everyone together to do photos for something, and it felt like a funny way to end a cycle. You know what I mean? I was shocked when Julian didn't want to. I loved that he was like no press on this album. I was like, oh man, that's amazing. I started to hate.
Do you know why?
I mean, you just hate press.
Oh, I see.
Like after a while, you're just like answering like. Sometimes you can have a good interview or like, that's not how I meant it. You're trying to figure out so much in life. And so you say something one way and then you hear yourself. I don't know. It's just, there's so many things with press. And so the idea of like putting out a record and not doing any seemed exciting, but then it was like no shows. And it was like, oh, that's a bummer, because in the studio, it felt really positive. And also we didn't like speak about not doing it.
For the fifth album, where was that one recorded?
Electric Lady.
And good experience?
It was like glorious, like 6 weeks. As you get older, the fact that that's your job and you get to like go away from your responsibilities and go to a studio feels like, it's like, all you
have to do is make music.
I got to go to work. And you're like, it's like, it's such a, and you get there and you're just like playing with your friends.
Yeah.
I know you have to make music, but at the same time, you're ordering food and watching TV. It's not like, it's different than like punching in 9 to 5 after work.
So what would be a good representative song on this album?
To me, 80s Come Down Machine was like a jam. We all just started, the verse all just started doing. And so there's something really special about that. And it's actually, funny enough, one of the few songs I play a lot of from our catalog. Like if I want to put on a song in the car from our catalog, I put on that song.
Let's hear it. How would you say the band had changed at that point from the beginning to there?
I joke, we're the exact same when I was 18. We were opening up for the Chili Peppers. We were in a backstage. We were like talking and being a certain way. We could have just been 18 and the 5 people outside of a small venue then became a stadium. But the surroundings changed, but it's like they just grabbed us and put us in different things, and like you age. But there's a part of us, as much as change, there's a part of us that are always there, which is kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
I think we were more aware. Everyone was kind of, I don't know if we were trying to figure out how to get to the place that Julian had envisioned, maybe, for us as a band, or for the instruments of being a band with him. And maybe it didn't fully, I don't know, it's always in motion. So it's like you never achieve it. So it always feels like there's elements of what happens next, because there's elements of that in the next record, and even in the 2 that we did, there's elements that are so different and so the same. And now I want to do another one because I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I think I get it.
What's going to be next? Yeah.
You know, like, or like where my starting point is like, it's like, oh no, let me try again. I feel like this time I can really hone it in.
Yeah, that's great.
Which is, I have to learn, my personality has to learn how to like drink that slowly, savor it. Because if not, I'm just like, I can just seem like, let's go. Like, what are we waiting for? What's everyone doing?
So the 5th album, no touring.
No touring, no press.
Did you guys do anything together during that time, or were you all separated?
All separate. Almost did SNL. That was it. Yeah, almost did SNL.
Yeah.
Be a good autobiography title. Almost did SNL. The story of the Strokes.
So how was the New Abnormal different than the ones before it?
Well, I feel like it brought an element of us being all in the room for a certain amount of hours, right? We came in and jammed from 12 to 1, and then you would come from like 1 to 6, and then we would stay afterwards sometimes if we had stuff if we were almost there, we had stuff to do. I don't know, that element of it was really exciting. It was back in a studio. It was LA, so it was the first time we were not in New York. It's pretty magical being out here. Also, there was something in how we worked, the 5 of us with you, that felt like when we were younger, but different. You know, like you could never go back to that, but there was an element of like you in the room that allowed us to be a band. Your just presence allowed us to be like, oh, it's the 5 of us. Then it's like the band dynamic became new and old at the same time, and that was maybe the most fun part about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
What would be a good song representative of the album?
Oh, wow. Representative of the albums. Eternal Summer was the first time we did where you were like, record long time playing one part, and we'll get a piece that feels right for both parts. And I feel like that was
New,
and also it started to grow and grow. We're like, started jamming more, and songs were even taking shape through jams, and like Julian would find many different vocals, and then you guys would figure that out later.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, it feels so different. Yeah.
Well,
See, I feel like that's what they wanted in 2011. But once again, like looking back on stuff, it's nice to have it all.
For sure. When it came out, what happened?
Well, COVID was happening, but it was like this big, a whole new generation. I mean, it gives me goosebumps. A whole new generation of people found us. We could literally go out and probably play, it's only nine songs on the album, but 6 to 8 songs on it, and we'd get cheers as loud or louder than old songs because they didn't know it. There was a whole generation who came. That was the first album. They were like, oh, look at this new band.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's surreal for me. When we did ACL, we ended the show with The Adults Are Talking, and like this video on I think Stroke's Instagram or mine where they're singing along so loud you can't even hear Julian.
It's got a lot of words. It's fast.
Yeah, and it's just like
not an easy sing-along.
No, it's not. It's not a sing-along at all. I'm so isolated in my world, I didn't like feel it or hear it. But when you watch it afterwards, it's really moving and cool.
During COVID, obviously, there were no shows.
Yeah.
What were the first shows that you were able to play?
SNL. bringing it all back to SNL. Yeah. That was the first.
Same as always, or good experience, bad experience?
Maybe the best.
Oh, great.
It was really cool. We know Colin Jost. He was there with Lorne Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
Lorne was watching and saying like, oh, wow, this band's been around for, like, he put 2 and 2 together and was like, oh, it's been 20 years. This is the 5th album they're coming here. Like, that's cool. He made it sound like it was like a moving moment. Like he just like realized we had been in the fabric of that thing for a long time.
And also New York band, New York
that's
show,
what I mean. It's
live.
Just like it kind of fits hand in hand. And then afterwards, I think we got to do a small run, maybe like it was like Miami and LA and then Peru, but then we got to open up for the Chili Peppers in stadiums.
Wow. How was that?
It was fantastic because it was just a great bill. And it really gave us a chance to like see what rooms like that would feel like and see them afterwards and see like the work they put into making their show. And it's just, it just inspires you for the next. And there's like a thing because you record them and you record us, so there's kind of like a friendly animosity. Like you. No, I'm so happy you're here. No, I mean it's I'm kidding. It's awesome. But it's just like, it's in a good way. You kind of like
Familial.
yeah. It's like siblings.
Yeah.
Oh, you think dad likes you? Well, he likes us. Right. Reality awaits.
Yeah.
That was maybe the most cinematic record to make in every aspect. I mean, talk about if you want to live the dream with any angle, from your angle, band angle, production angle, anyone's angle. You're a band and you take all this gear. There's probably a million people telling you not to do it. Like, it's too complicated. You take all this gear and you record outside on top of a hill overlooking the ocean in Costa Rica. Something about Costa Rica, there was an energy there that was just fantastic. I just remember the recordings, the sounds we were getting, the songs. And like I tell everyone, it's my favorite album. And it's made me even realize even more so how much more we have to give, because it's so exciting, and I feel like we're tapping into it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we got to the end and it was like, we got nothing left.
No.
It's like we have like so many songs and jams that we did that we might never even see or find it, but that's not even the point of the jam, because like they're within us. They'll come out in a different way.
Yeah.
But just when you know it's there, you're like this. It's like we tapped into like a oil well, and like we found oil, like for your family's family.
What would be a good song to listen to?
This is tough. Also, this album has such a I listen to it like you'd watch a play.
Yeah.
And even though you have like certain scenes in the play that you might, or a movie that you'd be like, I love this scenes. Like, it's the
body.
the movie,
Yeah.
or the whole story that takes you into different spaces, Like, I feel.
I always listen to it as an album.
Oh, your attention, please. I wondered if an assailant passed this way was a friend that I once knew, flew in from LA. Oh, a lesson that I learned a long, long time ago. Remind me of my lonesome self at Oriental Shadow. I count my blessings then. I know nobody understands. I waste my days away. You don't have love because you don't want pain. Oh, no, you don't want pain because you don't have trust. Oh, no, you don't have trust. So you don't have love. Oh, no, you don't have love, 'cause you just can't take the pain. There was a time sat there like a dog. He was the one, now he's away, riding the radio waves. Get the fuck out the way, we can have all the things you want, okay? Listen to the AI tell you what to do today. I waste my days away instead of giving it a voice. I wanna play my game. I don't want love, cause you don't pay. Oh, no, you don't want pain, cause you don't have trust. Oh, no, you don't want trust, cause you don't want love. Oh, no, you don't want love, just don't want the pain. Take it too long, please send us a song. How can I do this all on my own? Never a secret, all down to two. Putting your feet up, wrong at a two. Adding a secret is nothing new. A reservation dinner for two. Something inside us bubbling up. We gotta go somewhere to get drunk. A reservation dinner for two.
Fuck, I love that song.
It's so cool.
It's so cool.
Doesn't sound like anything else.
No, and also this one was cool because the song was all one way, and then when Julian was doing the singing, he sent me a thing, and he was like, "If you have any ideas," and like with my guitar teacher, I was like, "What are the different ways?" And we were doing it's like kids, but we were doing certain things that I like my ear just picks up on, and I was like, "Oh, it fits in this song, but it's so different." And so I got it, and I got to add my guitar at like my own speed and like dive into like different verses of different stuff, the chorus. And I feel like I'm just playing, it's really intimate. I'm playing to Julian singing.
Yeah.
It's just really special to me.
Tetragrammaton is a podcast. Tetragrammaton is a website. Tetragrammaton is a whole world of knowledge.
What may fall within the sphere of Tetragrammaton? Counterculture? Tetragrammaton. Sacred geometry? Tetragrammaton. The avant-garde? Tetragrammaton. Generative art? Tetragrammaton. The tarot? Tetragrammaton. Out-of-print music? Tetragrammaton. Biodynamics? Tetragrammaton. Graphic design? Tetragrammaton. Mythology and magic? Tetragrammaton. Obscure film? Tetragrammaton. Beach culture? Tetragrammaton. Esoteric lectures? Tetragrammaton. Off-the-grid living? Tetragrammaton. Alt spirituality? Tetragrammaton. The canon of fine objects? Tetragrammaton. Muscle cars? Tetragrammaton. Ancient wisdom for a new age. Upon entering, experience the artwork of the day. Take a breath and see where you are drawn.
Tetragrammaton.com